Good morning. My name is Kari, and I'm an alcoholic. Thank you. I have a sobriety date of August 19th, 2015, and I'm an alumna of New Directions for Women. Before that, I had spent nearly 2 decades of my life drinking and using drugs. I had lost all sanity, all hope, and all peace of mind, body, and spirit. I am an alcoholic of the hopeless variety, and I am one that has lost all power of choice in drink. Those were not all I had lost. I had been arrested for yet another DUI, so I lost my license. My fiance left me and kicked me out of the house. I don't blame him. I was let go from my job, which is called fired. I was fired from my job, which is okay. And it's really fired, let's just face it. And at 32 years old, since I had lost everything in my life, I moved back in with my parents. And I kept drinking because I didn't know how to cope with change. 2 weeks later, I was sexually assaulted at a strip club where I went to drink and use as I wished with people that wouldn't interfere. And those were my friends. Afterwards, I kept drinking because I couldn't cope with pain. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says that the alcoholic is like a tornado, roaring his way through the lives of others, and I had done that my whole life. I had stolen time, peace, and energy from everyone who loved me, and yet I took no accountability for it. I blamed everyone but myself. In the end, I tried to take my own life in front of the woman who loves me more than anything on this world, and that was my mother. It was horrific, and I will never be able to take that memory from her, but luckily that woman is the most resilient woman I've ever seen, and she stopped at nothing to save my life. I spent 2 beautiful weeks at a psych ward, and I know that some can relate, which is a beautiful thing about Alcoholics Anonymous. I say that in front of normal people, and they don't know what to think, and that's okay. So my family then selflessly flew me 3,000 miles away from New York, and I spent 90 days at New Directions for Women. My family found New Directions for Women. My brother-in-law was a big part of that. He found it online, and my sister actually knew someone that had gone through treatment and is still sober today. And while I was there, I learned some very important coping skills that I needed from the therapists and the case managers. I was introduced to the 12 Steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, where the staff encouraged me to get a sponsor, which I did, and she asked me, "Kari, do you want to live or do you want to die? Because it's your life and it's your choice, and I can show you how to do that, but you cannot do it without a power greater than yourself and without women to trudge the road to happy destiny with you." And I did not like women. That was not okay, because I only liked men, because that was my thing. I suffered from a chemical addiction, a dual diagnosis, and a love and sex disorder. And I'm proud to say that I don't have to live like that anymore. That sponsor directed me to make new friends, to go to meetings, taught me the discipline that also New Directions taught me. And now I have women in my life. I have developed relationships I never knew existed, and I am sober today because of them. On my 90-day coin out, I received this from the women in treatment, and they were nice enough to melt crayons with their lighters. Great reason, awesome. And they all signed messages of love on here. And I looked at this for the full year I was back in New York, because I had to go home or else I was going to go to prison. Can you imagine? And that helped save my life for the first year. And that was by working through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was at a meeting when I moved back here a year later, which is a blessing, and I was asked what my first fun moment in sobriety was, and I couldn't remember. And later that day when I was laying on the beach, it came to me. It was about 40 days sober, and I was laying in a lawn chair at New Directions with another woman from the East Coast, and it was 90 degrees, and we love that because we get about 2 months of that on the East Coast. And we enjoyed ourselves. We read Cosmo. We talked about our families. It was amazing. And as I was remembering that, I looked over in the sand, and I saw that same woman. And she's right there with us today, and that's Miranda. She has saved my life. She has helped me become the woman I am. And I could never repay her for that. And thank you so much. Thank you for letting me be part of your life and for helping me save mine. Since treatment, I am now continuing to work the 12 steps. I have a sponsor who has a sponsor. I am a sponsor myself. I get to watch women save their own lives. I once heard a woman say, there is nothing more beautiful than seeing a woman get it, and when you take them through the steps. I've left behind guilt and shame from my past, and when I'm wrong, I take responsibility and I make amends quickly and often. And I take direction from my sponsor, and I help other women daily, and there is nothing more purposeful than that. So ladies, anyone in recovery, especially the ladies in treatment now, if you didn't think you had a purpose in life before, you have one now. And you save my life every day. I'll never be able to do for you what you do for me. My father and stepfather sleep at night. My sister, she called me her hero. My dad says he loves me, is proud of me. And my brother-in-law, he does not have to see his wife cry anymore. My mother, she told me she doesn't have to worry about me anymore. The scholarship money that you've all given allowed me to go to treatment because my parents took a lot of money from their 401k, and I stand here because of you today. You're saving lives of all the children and the women that come through. So please, today I urge you, give generously because you are doing so much more than you know. Today I have a daily reprieve for my alcoholism. Tomorrow I don't know. Today is all I need to know about. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says the unchanged man will drink again, and I have changed. Thank you for that. I am smart, and I am powerful, and I am here. My name is Kari Stockdale, and I'm an alcoholic. Thank you.